Oops. Oh, there. Hey, y'all, it's me, Marty. Boy, that's horrible lighting. Well, the sun's going to be behind the trees or behind the rest area a little bit here. Maybe I'll leave it like that so you can see me. Because otherwise, I'm in the shade. I can't see you, but that way, I don't know. I'll just go like this. Hey, y'all, it's me, Marty. Welcome to another video. Welcome to another live stream. So, I haven't done one in a little while. I try to be consistent and do live streams on Saturdays, either in the morning or the evening, but sometimes it just doesn't work out when I'm working. I'm on the road, and but yeah. So then I decided to do one Sunday, and then I was gonna do it yesterday. It just didn't work out. But anyway, it's Tuesday evening, and I'm parked at a rest area in Washington and waiting for. Hopefully, I'll get a reload tomorrow. Hopefully, heading back home, but we'll see. So I am parked at a rest area right now. And anybody on here? Anyone there? Anyone? Anyone? I thought I'd do a little live stream of this chat, and I want to share. I want to talk about why I enjoy woodworking, and I have 10 reasons to share. Just 10 reasons why I enjoy woodworking, and but more than that, I want to hear from other people. So if you're watching, I want to hear comments from you why you enjoy woodworking. Like 3 things. One. Why do you enjoy woodworking? What kind of woodworking do you do? How did you get into woodworking? You know, if you want to put that in the comments, it'd be wonderful to hear from all of you. Also, I'm hoping to have at least one guest, maybe a couple or three. We'll see who shows up. I think I might have one or two already waiting, so we'll see. Just a quick little update here. I am at the what is it? Maytown Rest Area, southbound on I-5 in Washington, south of Tumwater. So yeah, if there's any paparazzis out there want to come and see me, come on over. Anywho, that's just funny. I'm not a big deal. I'm a big deal in God's eyes and my wife's eyes, and a few friends and my kids and grandkids maybe, but that's about it. And but that's enough for me. Anywho, I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. I'm just being weird. I'm being goofy. Anyway, so I'm gonna turn the AC off. It's cooling off. Anywho, I hope you're all doing well. Hope you liked the video I did. I'm just chatting about coffee and making coffee this morning. But yeah, so I got unloaded today, and no reload for me yet. So I gotta wait till tomorrow. So, and I couldn't find any parking spots in the Tacoma area, even Olympia. I had to come all the way down here to south of Tumwater. And I'm wondering. I'm just kind of wondering if I should go for a quick little walk, a little ramble, because I went for a little walk, and it's kind of cool over here in the trees, the woods at this rest area. It's kind of got a Narnia feel or a Terabithia feel or something. It's really kind of cool. I don't know why I'm drooling. Hey, I lost somebody already. Oh, good night. Anyway, I know more people watch this, the replay more than the live stream, but so I hope you enjoy this. We're just going to ramble for a little bit. It's kind of fun doing. I love doing the live streams because I get to connect with all you. So I'm thankful for everybody who watches my silly videos. Again, it's just a hobby. I don't make money. I just do it to share my life. And if you can watch and be blessed, that blesses my heart. So anyway, I wish I was home, but I got to work. I'm on the road, so I try to make the best use of my time, and make videos and stuff. And just yeah. Anyway, okay, let's get along with this. So I want to share a scripture for the day. The scripture I picked. So the scripture, and then at the end of the live stream, I have a final quote. Both of them kind of have to do with using our hands, tools, woodworking in a way, kind of, but not really. I don't know. See what you think. Psalm 90:17. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands. Yes, establish the work of our hands. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands. Yes, establish the work of our hands. I always like that one. And that's one that I have in a frame in my wood shop. And And it's not just about using our hands, but God can use us and bless us and bless other people through us by using our hands, using our gifts and our talents and our minds and our hearts, and just being able to make a difference in other people's lives. And I've just been thinking about that a lot lately. So I thought that was a good one to start with. And then just talk about woodworking today. I think it's fun. Life is hard, and we're all busy, and we got all the different stresses of life. But I just like to enjoy things we enjoy and talk about them together. And just woodworking is a fun hobby, and I like to talk about it with others, and it just gets our mind off all the serious, hard things that we got to deal with every day. And yeah, so I pray you're all doing well. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet. So I have 10 reasons why I like woodworking. Hey, by the way, if I don't see any comments here, so I don't know if anybody's watching, but if I have any family or friends out there watching, hi, I love you all. If you'll comment and let me know you're there, then I'll actually call you out by name. So I'm not sure who's watching, if anybody. Um, but yeah, so I'm not sure if I wanted to share these now or if I think I want to bring the guests in first because I have at least one guest, I think, and I'm not sure how this is going to work. I usually do my live streams right on YouTube, but I'm using StreamYard because you can have guests and you can have it at the same time. I think I don't even know if this is going to work. If I can have them all in at once, or I'm going to bring them all in one at a time. Not really sure yet, but we'll try. And I just want to hear what what they have to say about why they like woodworking. And so I might just bring them in, let them talk first, and as we go along, maybe I'll share, or maybe after I'm done with having the guests on, I might just give you my 10 reasons. And then if anybody has any questions or anything, we can have Q&A. Maybe I can show and tell stuff. There's a couple of things that people asked about. Somebody wanted to see my day pack again. Somebody wanted to see my carving kit and a couple of knives I use and stuff. So my scroll saw is sitting here. I don't know if anybody wants to see that. Let me know. I have a couple of drinks here, so grab a drink and a snack. Enjoy the live stream, this fun time. I'm really tempted to take my phone, my camera, go for a quick little walk over here. Cause yeah, it's got like a Narnia, Terabithia feel. It's really pretty, beautiful trees, and there's green moss all over. There's a little trail going through the woods here. The sun's gonna be going down soon, and I don't know if I should. I don't want to lose reception if I do that, but maybe when I get the guests in, I'll see if anybody thinks that's a good idea. Otherwise, in the morning, when I wake up and the sun comes up, I might go for a little walk. But yeah, we'll see. So, what I have for drinks today, I have a Black Rifle Espresso 300. I know, I'm going to be up all night. I know. Caramel vanilla. And then I'm going to chase it down with a sparkling ice caffeine. Yeah, I like to have some energy for my live streams. Okay, so grab a drink, grab a snack, and I got some corn nuts here if I get hungry. I had tacos for lunch, which was really good. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I think I'm gonna bring a guest in. Let's see here. Um, okay, let's see. Okay, oh, my friend Robert is waiting. He's there. I see him. Okay, let's bring Robert in. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Um, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hmm. Well, that's weird. Um, Muted it. Now it's on. Hello? There's no sound from you. Are you using an earphone or an external mic? I don't hear any sound. Of course, I don't hear me on here either. Let me see this. Let me check the settings here. Audio. Um, yeah, mine seems to be working here. I don't know. Can anybody else hear Robert? If anybody's watching, we got 3 people watching. If anybody can hear Robert, can you let me know? Because I'm not hearing him at all. Let's see. Edit echo cancellation automatically adjust. I don't know. Let's see. Well, wait a second here. Melinda just said in the fun chat that you might be muted. So are you on a phone or a tablet, computer? Okay, make sure your computer mic is on, because there's nothing coming out. Yeah, and I don't see anything on my side here. Yeah, the volume's all the way up. Can you hear me, Robert? Can everybody else hear me? I'm guessing. Okay, I know that I don't do anything on computers anymore. I know though on computers there's usually 2 volumes. There's usually one for the computer and then one for the app you're using. Maybe make sure they're both on and up, because I don't hear any sound from you. How about this? Well, Frankie is there too. How about this? How about Robert, you go off and I'll bring Frankie in and just make sure everything's working good and then try and come in again, okay? All right, let's bring Frankie in and see if he has sound. Hey, Frankie. There you are. I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm sitting out in my shop.
Okay. Can you, if possible, can you get a little closer to the camera for the video and the audio? There we go. Yeah. So you're sitting out in your shop?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me good?
Yes. You're real loud and clear.
So
this is what I've been doing.
Okay. Okay, Melinda says she can hear us both, so that's good. Okay, so hopefully Robert can come in. If you're watching, or Melinda, if you could message him and just tell him to try again, and we'll bring him in a little bit. And I don't know. Maybe one of his volumes are off or something. Because I think it's on his end. But anywho, Frankie, how you doing today?
I am doing good because I got to play in my shop.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? I just love being out there, even if I'm not making anything. It's just fun to hang out in the shop.
Yeah, so when I logged in, you had to hit the mic button and then you could clap my hand and the meter moved up. That's why I knew my mic was working.
Okay. So why don't we do this for everybody watching? And Melinda, if you want to let everybody else know, well, how about we do each person one at a time, just because the pictures are really small right now. And the more people we get, the smaller they'll be. So, Frankie, we'll talk to you for like 10 minutes or so, and then we'll bring someone else in. And so let's do it that way. I think it would be better.
How's my picture, Marty?
Looks great. If you want to get a little bit closer like this so we can see your nose. So, for everybody watching,
count my boogers.
So, for everybody watching, why don't you just tell us who you are, where you live, and then Yeah, why you enjoy woodworking, what kind of woodworking you do, and yeah, you can show us a couple things.
Okay, my name is Frankie. I'm from Faultville, Alabama, and I enjoy woodworking because it's relaxing. I have a lot of quiet time with our good Lord. Me and him have a lot of good conversations. I do a lot of my praying while I'm doing woodworking, praying for others. It's just relaxing. I mean, and I can thank you so much, Marty, for getting me involved in doing the spoon things. And I will try to show a spoon that I have done.
Very nice. You make some beautiful spoons.
That's
Very nice. What
one.
kind of wood? What kind of wood is that?
Well, that's one you gave me, the one I really fell in love with that
Okay.
carved really good. I'll take a better still picture and send it to you where you
Okay.
might identify it.
I'm guessing
And
it's probably I might be birch.
this is the other one that's made with the wood you gave.
Very
It's
nice.
already cut out and it was already resawed. And this is a little something I made too. People may wonder what in the world is this to get the last drop of peanut butter or mayo out of the jar.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah,
So that is wonderful. That's such a good idea. You got to
yeah,
give it a name.
I can just call it a spreader. I
Okay.
don't know
Or
what
get
to
the
call or Frank spreader.
yeah, or the last dipper or something. I like that.
Yeah,
That's a great idea because a regular knife doesn't work very good, and sometimes we'll grab a spatula because it just works better, like the rubber one.
yes, that's what this one was patterned after. But I trimmed this part right here where it would get in down in the crease of the jar.
Okay. I love it. I
And
love it. That is such a great idea, Frankie. Hey, your wife just put a message on here, so I'm going to read it quick. It says, I'm Melinda Hudson, Frankie's wife, and I enjoy Frankie's woodworking because it keeps him out of my hair. Seriously, though, he does a lot of things for others and helps him a lot, too.
this
Amen, Melinda.
is
That's great.
on one I've just started. I just finished cutting this out when we went live.
Okay.
This is a little bowl, and it's going to be to get the bouillon out of the jar
Oh,
because the big spoon won't fit in the jar. So I made it small, and I
I
made it
like it.
big on the end where I can drill a hole in it and hang it up.
Okay, okay. I love it. That's a great idea. That's what's really fun about making just different utensils, just making up new ones and for specialty things.
And this is just a blank. You had it drawn out in some wood you gave me in the past.
I
And I want
recognize
to
that.
know what kind it is. I really love sawing it. And I can't tell because my nose is kind of messed up by smelling it. It kind
Yeah,
of looks like cherry. Did you
so
have any cherry wood at one time?
I've never had much cherry, but what I do get from Menards is alder, and alder looks a lot like cherry, only it's cheaper and it's a little softer.
Okay. Is it a
So take
red looking wood, kind of like cedar?
Yeah, yep, yep. So take some
Well,
pictures, take some close up pictures of the ones you're not sure of and send them to me, and
I
I'll see if
will.
I can figure it out.
And I love doing these things. I don't know if you can tell it. It may be bleached out. It,
It's
it's
such
kind
a
of
small picture on here.
3D. It's kind of 3D. I think my stage lights is bleaching it, but Jesus sticks up.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yep. Yep.
You know, your last visit, I showed you that. That's what I'm trying to show everybody.
Yep. I like it. Yep. That's a really good idea too.
And I paint the Jesus word a different color and paint the border around it a different color.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Yep.
Because that's just a very soft pine. Because I don't like per se the Jesus word itself. Because it being soft pine, it does break.
Oh, yeah. Yep. If anybody's watching, please comment and ask questions. And yeah.
I'd be glad to answer anything if I know. Uh,
So it
and
looks like we got 3 people watching, but I don't know who they are. I'm guessing
Melinda's
Robert's on hold again. Let me just check here. Yeah, Robert's on hold. So, Robert, if you're watching, or Melinda, if you want to let him know, we'll chat with Frankie a little more here, and then I'll try to bring him in. And if there's anybody else that wants to come on, you can.
you read it.
It's too small.
Okay. What it is, it says the reason I'm old and wise is because God protected me when I was young and stupid.
That's funny, but so true too. I like that.
Oh yeah, and it's got a picture of a
For me,
donkey or
anyway.
something holding a Bible.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to work on engraving it again. That's another thing I do, but I like to scroll saw because it's relaxing. Yeah, the laser's relaxing too, but it does the work. I like using the scroll saw because you have to use your noodle.
Right. Yep. Yep. So,
I'm going.
okay, so you like scroll sign, and you're doing some laser, and you carve spoons. So how did you first get started in woodworking?
Years ago, I I've always liked it and tinkered with it, but I got a job at a place. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the wooden vegetable bins and trash cans. I worked for a place that made things like that.
Okay.
And I
Yep. Yep.
really got in love with it. I didn't actually do any of the cutting, but the guy found out how good I was applying the stain and the clear coat they put on them. So he put me in charge of doing all of the samples. So the
That's
ones that
great.
was published in the magazines, that was my work. And
Okay.
I didn't cut them out, but I assembled them, I stained them, I put the sealer, then the clear on them. And I done a table he found in this building he bought. It was oak and had a lot of hand scroll work done in it. And he asked me if I'd do it, and you could almost shave in it how reflective it was. And there was a guy offered him $5,000 for that table.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And
Yeah.
because it was all handwork, you could tell it was handwork. And
Yep.
there was a date in it, and it was something like 1930 something.
Oh wow. That's
And it'd
amazing
been
what was done
sitting
a
in
long
that
time ago.
building for years. And one of the guys turned him some oak legs for it because there wasn't no legs for it.
Okay.
And he done research. The guy that owned that barn or wherever he found it has
Okay.
been passed away over 20 years. So it's been in that barn for that long.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I let Robert know that you're about ready for him too.
Okay. Yeah. Tell him I'm going to go a little bit longer with everybody just because this is fun and I don't know how many we'll have. So I'll go a few more minutes with Frankie here, but then I'll let him in if you want to let him know.
Okay.
Melinda, and if you wanted to chat too, if you wanted to, you can pop in after Frankie's done if you want.
Well, I would, but I don't know if everybody wants to see my eye.
Oh, oh yeah, you're like
Yeah,
you're the
I
pirate
can
today.
I can pirate. Yeah, I can pirate. Yeah. Yeah,
So you
it looks
worked at
pretty rough. Do
so
what?
Frankie, how did you get into woodworking as a hobby and when?
Well, when I was a kid, I always liked thinking with wood. I probably had a knife when I was 5 years old. And my grandfather, my mother's dad, he made a lot of his handles and stuff for hoes and stuff. And he even made the old wooden single trees and stuff for mule stuff. And
Okay.
I just kind of watched him. And then my mom noticed I was kind of interested. So, and I've still got the jigsaw. It's around here somewhere that she got me with S&H green stamps. It's an old metal, and it's shop made or something like that. And then I saved up my allowance because I used to work farm labor in the neighborhood where I was born and raised. And what money I had left out of my check, I would save, and I got a router and tried to do routering. I never was very good at it, but then I got to cutting out the Maltese cross, which what the fire department logo most of them use,
Okay.
and I kind of done like you do with your signs, but it wasn't a palm router. It's a big one, weighed about 10 pounds. But
Okay.
I would put the name of the firefighter in the middle of that cross. And then I kind of got out of it for a while. Then I seen this guy on YouTube that I was kind of down, and he had me laughing so hard I was crying. And God just told me you need to get to know this guy.
It
And
sounds like a
so,
nut.
but that guy, uh, he's such amazing, and he's such a good encourager. And if it wasn't for that guy, I wouldn't be on YouTube myself. And anybody out there, y'all can check me out. I'm White Wolf Adventures. And
Yes, check
I,
out Frankie's channel, White Wolf Adventures. He's got woodworking and just sharing Jesus and all kinds of great videos. And he's going to be doing more, a lot more
oh
coming
yeah,
up.
I plan on it, especially when it's gotten warmer. We got up to about 72 today. I know that's too hot for you, Marty, but
Yeah,
I mean, I like it what it is right now. I would go see what temperature it is here, but I'd have to leave the camera. But
yeah.
anyway, and I've met so much wonderful people through you, Marty. Robert.
It's God. It's all God who brings us together. That's what's wonderful. God can
Well,
use
I
anything.
just think God's got a big plan for us all for something. I really feel like
Well,
because
and it might just be the daily thing too, just to be used by Him every day.
well,
Be ready.
and God just just can't explain it. It's the feelings I have for everyone on our little fun chat.
Yeah, yeah. For people people probably don't know what that is watching on YouTube, but yeah, we have a little messenger, Facebook Messenger group that we do voice chats back and forth, and it's people that we've met through YouTube, and we've been talking a couple of years now, and we talk back and forth almost daily, and it's wonderful. And yeah,
I was trying to figure out how long we've known each other, Marty. Going
well,
on
yeah,
probably that 3 years, I guess.
I'm thinking, yeah, we should look back and see. I'm gonna see if I can figure out. We could probably look at our personal message, um, and figure it out. But probably about 3 years, yeah.
And and
Um,
go ahead.
so I'm gonna let you go in a little bit and see if we can get Robert in here. And but what I'd like to do is start having guests on my live streams and like have one each time, and the whole time we can talk and we can talk more and stuff. But um, how about I give you another 5 minutes if there's anything else you want to share about woodworking or you or your life or show or
Well, I'm so basically because most of my stuff I give away. And that's what I do with my stuff. Most of it's give away. And somebody said, well, I ain't going to take it unless you take some money. I said, but whatever you feel like giving. I don't put a price on it because God has blessed me with this talent. And plus, good encouragement and a good teacher. You've taught me a lot, Marty, and Robert's taught me a lot about stuff. And
we've learned from you too, Frankie, and you're such an inspiration to us.
well, I'd love to encourage people and share about our Lord and Savior. A little just about me. I died and got to come back because I promised God I would work for Him if He let me live. And He let me live. And I do a lot of encouragement. I do volunteer work at a halfway house in our neighborhood. And I really enjoy that to encourage these guys. So many people want to ridicule, but they're trying to better themselves. Don't down them, encourage them to do better. That that bothers me a lot. And,
Yeah.
but, but and about my woodworking, like I said, I enjoy it. It gives me peace, joy, and happiness because there's nothing like taking a piece of wood, you know, like this, and make it turn out to something like this. Then it turns out to something like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is wonderful.
And,
And the thing is, that's the thing. God created us, and He made us to be able to create.
and because I mean, there's a lot of people. I've done got several people wanting some more spoons, and going to a physical therapist, and the therapist same amount of work said, and she said, "Will you make me one?" I said, "Sure." So this one is promised to her.
Okay. Yeah, I got to give
Uh,
I for a while there I was giving them away a lot, and I just haven't lately. I have a whole bunch I need to give away. And well, Frankie, I'm gonna let you go here, and I'll see if I can get Robert in here. It looks like Chris is watching, so I don't know. Chris, if you're watching, if you want to log off and then click the link in the fun chat, you can be a guest in a little bit too.
and
But I think I'm just going to do it one at a time. I think it might be easier for everyone.
yeah, all right, that's good. And also, my state lights is going dim. So,
You're what?
my stage lights, because my tripod's got lights on it. That's why this side of my face is dark.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Going
Frankie,
dim.
we'll have you on a live stream again, or you can have me on a live stream or something, and we'll
Well,
chat together again soon.
yeah, we'll work on that. And
Okay.
tell Marilyn I said hello and love you, Marty. You have a blessed night.
I
And
love
I'm
you
going
too,
to
brother.
watch the rest of the live stream on inside.
Okay, sounds good. And shoot us some questions.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Love you, brother.
Love you
Bye-bye.
too. Bye. Figure out how to stop it.
Okay, that was fun talking to Frankie. Yeah. Okay, so I'll see if Robert's here. We're gonna give him another try here. See if I can bring Robert in. Chris, if you want to be on in a little bit, go off of the watching it and then click on the link, and we'll see if we can bring you in. Anybody else want to come in? It'll be fun. So let's see if we can get Robert in. Hey, brother, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just went off the computer and I'm on my phone now.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
computers sometimes I don't know. I haven't used the cameras or microphones on computers enough. I don't know, but sometimes they kind of glitchy, especially if you're doing it with a phone with live. Yeah, I don't know,
Right.
but
Right.
I can hear you now. That's great.
Okay. Well, there were four different settings for audio, and I could see all four settings, but it wouldn't allow me to do it. On
Okay.
the computer. It the phone is just automatic, so I'll just do it on.
Okay.
Yep.
1 second here. Chris says I don't have Chrome on my phone. I don't think you need it. It might say things that you need, but you should be able to do it no matter what. But and give it a try.
And by the way,
Oh,
Marty, you don't have to go off and come back on. I was on the whole time watching you and Frankie, and you were telling me that I was. It says to me that you're in the backstage waiting, so you can watch it, and you can actually watch the thing live. And then you brought me in while I was watching. I didn't have to leave.
okay, I think it's probably because we're on actually StreamYard.
Okay.
It's playing on my YouTube channel, but it's actually going through StreamYard. So that's
Okay.
probably why.
Yeah. Okay.
If we're on regular YouTube like I tried last time,
Right.
you probably can't do both. But so yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
That's a good.
So
That's a plus using Streamyard.
yeah, yeah. So how you doing?
Doing fine. Doing fine. Yeah. We got a. I'm. Thank God we finally got a break the last 2 days from this accursed weather.
Yeah,
It's 40 degrees, 41 degrees, and a lot has melted down. But we're going to have snow for a good long time. Yeah.
yeah. It takes a while to melt it
But
all.
thank,
Yeah,
but thank
and
God we got a break. It's just we needed a break. We just needed it.
I think you got more snow than anybody in the country up there in the
Oh yeah,
Northeast.
yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, well, like I told you yesterday, we're just under 300 inches, and like I say, we got about 115 inches just in the past week.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, we got that much. Literally 10 feet of snow in the last. Well, it's up to about 8 days now. The last eight
o-
days, because the last two
okay,
days we got nothing. Yeah.
okay, okay. All right, we'll see you later, Chris. Thanks for being here. You can watch a replay later if you want. Have a great night. So Robert, tell us about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and why you enjoy woodworking and what kind of woodworking. How'd you get into woodworking? If you want to show anything, I'll just let you ramble.
Yeah, I don't have anything to show. I'm upstairs. I'm not even anywhere near the shop. But
Okay.
my name is Robert Cohen, and I live in a little town called Fulton, New York, in the town of Olney. It's in upstate New York. And anyway, like I say, I got into woodworking, oh gosh, well over 40 years ago. I got into woodworking from my grandfather. He was a master carpenter. He was a cabinet maker, and he's the one that got me interested, particularly in not so much making things, but the love of wood. He would show me all the different varieties of wood and his favorite types and why he liked it and where it came from. He would take me out in the woods and we'd literally look at. I remember him telling me one time I was about maybe 14 years old, 12, 13 years old, something like that, and on his property, and he showed me a big black walnut. It was about 7.5 feet in circumference. It was massive. And back then, he said that tree right there standing is about $8,000. If I ever wanted to sell it, that tree right there is worth $8,000 just standing there. And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
wow. I mean, that's that was incredible. But his favorite wood was curly maple. That was his favorite of all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he loved curly maple, and that was his favorite wood to work with. And he gave me, by the way, that black walnut tree that I was telling you about. He did actually sell it, but he kept a bunch of it, and I used the last bit of it just a few years ago. The last that I had several slabs of it, but he's been gone since '97. So but I've been using it up, and I just got rid of the very last piece of it a couple years ago. But yeah, that's where I got it, and I love just about any type of woodworking. I again, I'm not by any means am I a professional. Never. I'm just a hobbyist. I make a lot of different things. I have made some quite a bit of furniture. I like to work on the smaller, simpler projects. Just because I well, I have a really bad, strong case of ADD, and I have a tough time staying focused on some really, that's why I don't really care about the like scroll sawing. I love scroll sawing because that's where I did started out, but I'm not too much into the really, fine stuff, the fretwork and stuff like that. That's just
Yeah.
too fine, too minute for me. I like the simpler stuff, and because I knock them off there. But I actually only have two reasons, I guess, why I love woodworking myself. And basically the same thing what Frankie just said. I love it because it's very relaxing. It's a place where you can go down in safe haven and you can literally get lost for several hours. I know you guys have heard my story many, many times over when I first got in my very first scroll saw and my project. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that story again, but it was
Well,
you know,
everybody watching probably hasn't heard, so go ahead.
well, I was a young man, and I was probably in my early mid 20s or something like that. So you're talking, yeah, well over 40, probably 40, 45 years ago. And I remember I had somebody gave me an old Dremel, one speed, not even two speed, let alone variable speed. It was a one speed Dremel, and it had a plate on it about, oh, I don't know, maybe 4 by 6 inches, and it was so light you could pick it up with two fingers, and I mean it rattled so bad you jar the teeth right out of your head trying to saw on it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
horrible. But anyway, I went down, come home from work, told my wife, I said, I'm just going to go down here for a little bit, a little hour or so. And anyway, so I'm down in my in my basement, and I'm just got a little project. I just messing around, and all of a sudden, I don't know. It seemed like just a couple 3 hours, and I was getting hungry, and I looked up in the cellar window, and it's pitch black dark out. Now, mind you, I went down there after I got home from work, 3:30 in the afternoon. I looked at my watch, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, holy mackerel! How did I lose that much time? I literally
Time
got back.
flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely. And I said, of course, anyways, the next morning I wake up and I asked my wife, I said, why didn't you call me up for supper? She said, I did. I banged on the floor many times. You never answered me. So anyway, but that was my introduction to woodworking. And if ever anybody should not want to scroll saw, it would be me, because, like I say, that saw was horrible. It
Same
was,
with me. Yeah, I
but
can't believe I kept going. And yeah, it only got better from my first saw.
absolutely. And obviously, I've had many saws since then, and I currently have three scroll saws down there. And like I say, I'm at the time of my life now where, I mean, my home is paid for. I don't have a house payment or a car payment or anything like that. So I love to do woodworking, which brings me to my second one. And again, it's kind of a repeat, a rubber stamp of what Frankie said. I think the best thing that I enjoy more than just the relaxing part of it is to give things away. I love to give gifts and things. It's really cool when people say, "That's really cool." Where did you buy that? Oh, I said, "Didn't buy it. I made it." You made it? I said, "Yeah, I made it on a scroll saw." He said, "You can do that with one of them, And it's like, I think I got one out in the garage. I said, "Well, why don't you pull it out and let's get you scroll sawing? You should be doing this." I mean, I'm going to tell you something. You're a nervous guy. I would tell I remember a friend up to work. You're a very nervous guy. This will take away all of your nerves. And I said, it's so relaxing. You got to try it. So I would invite him over the house and, stuff. And of course, he might have a little old rickety scroll saw again, like that. So I get him on a decent scroll saw, and it's like, the Cadillac compared to what he has. And like I said, I know exactly what you're talking about because I started there. And what would
Yep.
happen is I would actually have a saw or an extra one. I have several, I have extra saws hanging around all the time. In fact, I had a brand new Ryobi. I bought it brand spanking new when I got back into it because I took several years off. I got injured at work and couldn't work anymore because of my back injury, and I kind of lost a luster for everything. And I took probably 8, 9, 10 years off or something like that. So when I got back into it, I bought a brand new Ryobi, like I think it was $127 off Amazon, and I got it, and I just did not like it. Well, I just gave that thing away about a year ago. I had a guy who was making me some things for my granddaughter. He made these nice big, well, like Lincoln logs. Well, he made his own, and they look exactly, and he paints them the same color, but they were oversized for small hands.
Oh,
And anyways, he said, "Oh,
ooh, that's an idea.
yeah, well, they were huge. I mean, they were monstrous size, and he charged $75 for a whole set of it, and it was a box probably about the size of a vacuum cleaner would come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a dust
If they
bite.
were probably bigger, yeah.
Oh, they're huge, yeah. But anyways, and I said, look, I said, would you be interested in a scroll saw? And he goes, well, I've never used one. I said, well, I went over to his shop to pick these up, and he had a band saw, but he didn't have a scroll saw, and I took it over to him. Like I said, his name is Chris Kimball. And I said, Chris, I said, this saw, I swear to you, God is my witness, this saw doesn't have 3 hours of work on it. I bought it and I just don't like it. But it's brand spanking new. He looked at it and he said, I could tell, it wasn't a scratch on it. Well, I gave it to him. He loves it. He adores it. He makes a lot of his, things with it now. So that's a kind of a neat thing. I was able to turn him onto the scroll saw because of that.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
since
Yep.
then, I'll show him some other things that can be done on a scroll saw. And I says, hey, you can't do this on a bandsaw. Like
Right.
like 3D cuts, compound cutting. You can't do that on a band.
Inside cuts. Yep. Yep.
He loves that. And by the way, this was it was a pinned scroll saw, but I put a conversion kit on it so you could go pinless or pin. And so,
Okay.
of course, I gave him a whole bunch of blades with it just to keep him going and everything. But
Yeah.
that was kind of a cool thing, turning somebody on who's an experienced woodworker, but had never experienced using a scroll saw before, you know.
And
And
there's a lot of woodworkers like that. It's either they don't know what it is, don't know the capabilities,
Mhm.
or they just do bigger things. They don't do intricate small stuff. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people are like, well, what's a scroll saw?
uh,
Is that like a bandsaw? Is that a jigsaw? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He knew what it was, but he'd never seen one, or he'd never used one before, I should say. Not that he'd never seen one, but he'd never used one before. And so I showed him how to use it on that saw that I gave him. And I said, check this out. Look at the stuff that you can do. And you can, okay, now a bandsaw, you can make curved cuts, but you can't cut as fine as this. I gave him a
No.
bunch of different cuts. I gave him a bunch of different blades, various sizes. And I said, you know, and also a scroll saw. It's a little bit more of a. It's very easy. First of all, it's very safe, as we all know. But he just really liked it, and he doesn't use it a lot, but he does. It has a definite use which he loves. You know, he told me
So
a couple.
I had a couple of Ryobis. I had probably three or four of them that I had when I taught scroll sign in a couple of different schools, and yeah, they were okay. The one thing
Yeah,
I realized with them, and I think they were pin. Well, I think two of them were pin, and the other, one, at least one of them was pinless. But they were okay, but they weren't. I don't know. They weren't real good for doing really intricate stuff. They were
yeah.
just more basic.
Well, I can
And
tell you the
I mean,
reason.
I even tried to put finer blades in, and they just didn't cut. They cut rougher. It vibrated a lot. They, I think they were good for just really basic stuff.
Right, right.
But you want one that's really cut smooth and everything if you're going to do intricate small things. And but yeah,
Yeah.
they were. I mean, they were built good.
Yeah, well, the
Um,
reason I didn't like this Ryobi was the fact that it was just too light. It
that's the
wasn't
thing.
very heavy. You know, it was a variable speed, by the way, but it
Yep,
was just too light. It wasn't, I had to work, to use it, and it would literally vibrate quite a bit, even if you tried to bolt it down to the bench. It still vibrated quite a bit. It was
that's
all
the thing.
plastic, you
The
know.
heavier the scroll saw, the better because
And,
that's what gives it the cut smooth,
right, right,
low vibration.
absolutely, yep, yep. But anyways, I love doing that type of work, and of course, because we do a lot of things there. I just recently got into. I haven't been able to do much of it, but I recently got into carving. Of course, I whittled a lot when I was in the Scouts, the Boy Scouts. My dad bought me the official Boy Scout knife, and I used to whittle all the time. I love to whittle, you know. But I'm at a right now. I've got some health things going on where I'm on some pretty heavy doses of blood thinner, and I don't want to take a chance of getting caught. You know, the
Oh
doc.
yeah,
Well, the doctor scared me to death with it. Even though you wear gloves and everything, he said no. He said you don't be around power tools or any carving instruments until we get you off this thinner. So everything's kind of on hold. But
yeah.
I
You don't want to take
also
any chances.
no, no, no. So I haven't been doing a whole lot of that stuff. But I love, like I say, I love making furniture. I make a fair amount of furniture. I've made several different things. I've made several different dressers for my granddaughter. Of course, you
Ooh,
saw I made her little chairs, and for a couple times as she grows, I make them a little bit bigger for her. And
yeah.
anyway, and she was really funny. My God, she asked me this Christmas. She calls me Papa, and she said, Papa, I need something for Christmas. And I said, what's that, honey? She said, well, I need a bigger chair. You made my other chair, my nother chair, as she calls it. My nother chair, you got that one, my gray one? Yeah. Well, first of all, I says, I need a bigger one because this doesn't fit my butt anymore. My butt is bigger now. what she meant, what she meant to say is she's getting bigger and she needs something.
Yeah, that's cute.
And
Oh,
it has to be purple and teal because you know why? Because those are my favorite colors. I like purple and
mm.
teal, so we had to do it. So I had to go down and buy special paint just to. But anyway, and I made her bed. I made her father bed. I made my other son, Christopher, his bed. I made a bed I've made several beds. Made a bed for my wife. And I've made dressers and things like that. I made, of course, Ellie doesn't remember this, my granddaughter, but I made her her very first changing table when she was just a baby.
Sure.
All kinds of. I make things. I'm a very like a frugal type person. A lot of times people don't understand is the fact that you can buy things sometimes cheaper than to build them, but you're not gonna beat a homemade thing, made out of
Right.
good old solid hardwood. That thing. I mean, I can't remember what my daughter-in-law did with it. I think she gave it to the neighbor or something, but that thing's going to be around for generations. They're not going to.
Right.
That was. Oh my God, are you kidding me? It took three men and a boy to move the thing, and
Mhm.
it was it's and I bought I bought the top to it, the padding and stuff like that, but it had all kinds of storage under it and everything. It was something that I saw. It was kind of like a rustic type thing with the cross patterns and things.
Oh,
So
sure.
I made that. But I just love making stuff like that. I make a lot of my own shop cabinets in my shop. What do you call it? My own cabinetry and things like that, custom
Yep.
built. I love doing that because I just, if I see a need for something, I made my own run out table for my table saw and
Yep.
benches and things like that, like your bench that you just recently.
Yep.
Oh my God. When I build something, you're gonna be able to, if you're lucky, lift it. I build them
Yeah.
to last.
Yep. Yep.
But I also I do a lot of laser engraving type stuff. I got into
Oh, they're beautiful.
yeah, I got into
Amazing
that
thing.
because a lot of people, it would call for it around here. I didn't do it to make money. Again, it was to give things away. But I found that a lot of people love that stuff. In fact, I just made one of my coworkers. His name is John Parrish. He's a great guy. Well, sadly, he just lost his wife of 55 years, January the 31st. Just literally just a or excuse me, December 31st. I'm sorry. Anyways, and I wanted things to settle down a little bit, but I made him a beautiful little plaque, in loving memory of his wife Michelle, and I gave it to him today, and he started crying. He thought, oh my God, Bob, I'm going to put that right here on my desk. Thank you so much. He said, I got to tell you, it's quite a change, when you've been living with somebody for 55 years and all of a sudden they're gone. And he
Right.
says, I just love this. It's beautiful. Thanks for thinking of me, and he loved it. And then again, you talk about a blessing. What a blessing it was for me. And
Yeah. It's a
in fact,
custom made gift. That's wonderful. You
and I
can't go to
walked.
the store and buy that.
Yep, and I walked by to get my mail. An hour or two later, I came back up to the office because he's up. I'm way at the end of the building, and I walked up. And as I'm walking back, he kind of looks up and he takes the little plaque that I had made for him and he holds it up to me and goes, "I love this." So it
That's
was
so
nice.
neat.
Yeah, but stuff like that. I love to. I can't charge. I just don't. Number one, I wouldn't know what to charge. And besides, I'm sorry to say this, but people, they don't pay what it's worth anyway because they just
Right.
realize what's involved. And that's
Yeah.
another reason why I choose not to. I just give things away because I want to. Now I have done things for, what do you call it, on consignment or something like that. And I did. In fact, I give you an example. And that's why I would much rather just give things away, even high end stuff, because a woman, she actually gave me a picture of something and she said, "Can you make something like this?" And I, sure, I can make that, no problem at all. And basically what it was she wanted to make it as like a blanket chest. And
Oh,
then,
sure.
yeah, and for the bottom of her bed. And I looked and I said, well, I'm going to make this out of knotty pine and I'm going to use tongue and groove because I think it'll really look great. And she said, oh, that sounds wonderful. Well, anyways, as it turned out, I saved all my receipts for everything. And of course, like I say, people don't understand. The lumber alone was $260.
Yeah.
And the whole
Yep.
thing came to about $350 is what I had into it. Okay. Now you're talking, people don't realize that the sanding, the finishing and stuff like that, everything that goes into it. And anyways, and she looked and she said, well, I want to pay you for this. And I said, no, I said, I really don't, I don't need anything for it. Well, at least let me cover your cost. And I said, you sure? I said, because you don't need to. I mean, you wanted me to make it for you, and I'm happy to do it. So, anyways, I gave her the receipts, and she couldn't believe it. She was like, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting that much." I said, "Well, that's why I told you, don't bother." But she did end up, giving me, you know. But again, that just goes to show you that people have no idea whatsoever
Well,
what
yeah.
would
So
cost.
here's the thing. Just in general, and I'm not real good at pricing things.
Neither am
But
I.
okay, if you got 260, then all the work in uh
Five,
$500
five
probably.
hundred easy, yep. No, but
Yeah.
I just charged her for what I had invested in it, and she even had a tough time believing that. Well, hardware and chains and latches and I mean, it
Yeah,
was
and then
amazing.
all the work involved, and then
Oh,
you got
sure.
to make a profit. So
Yep.
yeah, yeah, people don't realize that there is some people. There's a group of people that have money and they realize what things are worth and they're willing to pay, but it's hard
Right.
to find them people. I've sold things in the past, and I wish I could just stay home and do woodworking and sell, but it's so hard
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
I'd
You
rather
can't.
just I give things away, and if they give me a little bit, that helps
Yeah.
buy some more wood. But I'd
Which is
rather give
another
things away
reason.
anyway.
Yeah, but that's another reason why I like to do the simpler ones things. Like I had,
Yeah.
I know we had a town board meeting last Thursday night, and I had a lot of health issues between December and January, little heart issues I was going through. So I hadn't made the last two town meeting or the last town meeting. I didn't make the January one. And
Okay.
so one of our counselors, I just made him a simple, and I scrolled it out of some beautiful hardwoods, and I milled it down. And anyways, I gave everybody a beautiful, simple little scroll sawed ornament. And
Mm.
he just thought that was the most wonderful thing. And he said, actually, my wife absolutely loves that. I wanted to say, you didn't have to do that, Bob. And I said, well, I did it for everybody. I like making things. And I even made handmade cards, Christmas cards for everybody. And I slipped I put some little jute twine, on it like that. I
Yep.
bought it at a Hobby Lobby store. And anyways, and then I took the ornament. In fact, you know what I did this year, don't you? That's why I asked you. Remember when around Christmas time, I asked you for your real simple little church in the star? That's what I
Oh
did.
yeah.
I made that simple little design, and they loved it. And I
I
had
like.
them all doing it, and it just goes to show you a simple little gesture, a little gift, and people just adore it, which is nice because it shows that they do generally like homemade things. And
Right.
again, but the thing is, if he thinks that he enjoyed it in his family, he has no idea the joy that I got in making them, and
Yeah.
also and then hearing back from them saying how much they loved them. But I've done this. I've been the town historian now for. I've just finished my third year. In January the 10th would be my anniversary of 2022. And so I just finished my third year. And anyways, I every year I made gifts for the whole office. I think there's like 15 people. By the time you get all the offices, all the secretaries and the town assessor and the building and codes people and the planning board and the counselors and the supervisor and the deputy supervisor, all that stuff, the court,
Sure.
the judges. I think that we have a small township, but I make 15, 16, 20 of them, whatever it is, every year. And I just bang them out. And anyways, one girl, Deb, she's a super, super great lady, Christian lady, okay? And anyway, she knows that and that's another thing, I always try to do something godlike, something about obviously Christmas. And
Yep.
anyway, she says, Bob, she says, please don't take this wrong, but she said, I 3 years in a row, I look forward to whatever you're going to make us. I could just appreciate it so much. I love it, whatever you make for us, and it goes on the tree or whatever.
Yep.
One year I did the bent. Remember the Charlie Brown Christmas? I did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made that one year for them, and then another year I made them a little nativity scene similar to the one that you did with a little. I put a little one of those flicker candles behind it, the battery
Oh
operated.
yeah.
And then of course this year I made them I didn't have a lot of time this year, and I really I didn't want to stress myself out like I do in previous years, so I made it real simple and easy. Something that of course, and again, like I said, I wasn't feeling that well this year, but I still was able to get it out. And I was gonna say, the feeling that from giving those things that people really appreciate it is so great. You know.
It is. It is. And what's really neat about woodworking too, and it's okay. There's a lot of people that make uh, what everybody's making, and they make the exact same thing or whatever. I'm a little different. I like to make things different and unique and tweak them. I like to use older patterns. I like to make up ones, make custom ones, and you do that a lot too. And
Yeah.
it's just wonderful to, I mean, yeah, like the plaque you just made. I mean, that's amazing. The plaque that you made for Marilyn and I, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, the
And
one with the praying hands.
oh, I love it, and I love the wood. Oh, just beautiful. And and I've done things like that where somebody passes away. We had a friend in our church; he passed away, and so I made a plaque for his wife, and he liked golf. So I don't remember how I did it. I think I did a picture, and then a
Mhm.
cross, and then a golf ball was part of it. I
Right.
mean, it's fun to be creative and make things custom for
Yeah.
that person. I mean, you can't buy that in the store,
Right.
and
By the way, Marty,
it's
that plaque that I
wonderful.
made for you, that plaque that I made for you and yours and Marilyn's anniversary, that's made out of my favorite kind of wood. That was made out of ambrosia maple.
Oh, that's the
That's
ambrosia.
that's
Okay, I
that's my
love
favorite.
that.
That was my favorite. I had just one little chunk left, and I thought, what am I going to do with this? It's got to, I love this as my favorite wood. It's got to go to a special person. I said, I know what I'm going to do with that. So that's what I did with it. I made that little.
Thank you so much. I love
Oh,
it. We have that. That's hanging up year round. I
yeah.
love that one.
And you know, another thing that I hear about it, which it kind of, it's somewhat embarrassing. I can tell you guys this, but when I make things for people, you know what they want more than anything? They want me to sign the back of it, like an artist or something. And it's like, nah, I don't need to do that. But people actually almost insist. Oh, no, 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 right now. So every
Well,
year, of course, for our cantatas, we do two church cantatas every year, a Christmas and an Easter one. And again, well, there's usually 40 or 50. I bang out 40 or 50 projects twice a year for the cantata. And every year for the cantata, usually I do them on the laser only because it's quicker and I can batch them out quicker. But those people, they want me to autograph the backs of them. It's like, and I sit there. So now I just bring a Sharpie in case they want it that way. But I don't know. I was kind of
well,
stuck. They wanted that.
so I realized that lately too, and I actually ask people to do that too.
Hmm.
And like I let the little leather book that Frankie made me, I wish I would have had him write on it. Marilyn and her paintings, I tell her you should write on them. You even put the date and what
Yeah.
number it was or whatever. You know, um, I think that's a good thing to do, and I've been encouraging people to do that, and I ask people to do that.
Hmm.
It's not so much just a pride thing, and that so people know it was made from you, but
Yeah.
it's for the people so that they can remember that you made it
Right.
and when you
Right.
made it. It's to remember you, and
Yeah.
and I think that's a special thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when it's handcrafted, especially when
Yeah.
it's handcrafted.
Right. Well, it's nice to know people really do appreciate that, though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And again, I just,
Well,
well,
and if you, it depends on what it is. Some things there's room to write a little message or something. To me, that means the world. Just like cards, I like getting cards from people, but if somebody just gives me a card and it's not written in, I'm like, anybody could do that. I mean, the words are nice, but I want to hear their words.
right,
So
right,
somebody like Marilyn's really good about that writing in cards, and that's
right.
so special. So if I'd like to start doing that if it's something there's room to write on the back of it, just to write a little message, something. As a matter of fact, my friend Ben, who I've known for, let's see, and he might even be watching. Ben, if you're watching, and Ruth, I've known him since 1998, 99, and I made him a Jesus cross, and I went and visited him about a month ago or a few weeks ago, and the cross that I had made them years ago
Mm-hmm.
had broke. So I took it, brought it home, I glued and clamped it, and I brought it back to them. And on the back of it, it says, to them from Marty, 2001. It was 24 years old, and that was kind of neat for me to see that. And
Right.
so I have done that. I have tried to put my name on it, especially a little message. I mean, that really makes it extra special. It's handcrafted is wonderful, but then to write a message too,
Yeah. Well,
that
I didn't
that means
realize
a
it was
lot
that.
to people.
Yeah, see, I didn't realize it did until they brought it out. And then one girl, well, she's actually the girl who plays the piano part because our choir director he directs because it's a beautiful. Well, you've heard the thing before, but we have a mini orchestra and everything. I mean, we have trumpets and clarinets
Oh, it's
and four
amazing.
violins and a cello and I mean, flute and a whole. We have literally like 10 musicians that do it. And of course, Dolores she of course I wish I had a nickel for every wedding that I've done with Dolores over the last 40 years. And she's just a very dear friend. And she was the one that insisted. She just said, Bob, she said, I have to have you autograph this. I mean, you just gotta. So, anyways, I didn't realize until she pressed the topic, the subject, that it was important to people. She said, no, people want to do that. And then, of course, the other people saw me doing that. It's like, hey, do mine too. I want mine too. I want your name on it. So then I kind of thought, you know what? I swallowed my, pride or whatever it is, and I just said, well, okay. So I started doing all of them. And
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and it means a lot to people. It
yeah,
does to me. Um, Frankie's wondering what is your favorite wood to scroll saw?
My favorite wood to scroll saw, well, this is kind of probably poplar. I love poplar only because it really scrolls very, very nicely. And see, the thing is, we're not, I don't know how it is for Frankie or you, Marty. So you mentioned a lot, like I can't get alder, red alder, or anything like that. I can get a little bit of cedar, but not much. We're very limited, and so I can get poplar pretty readily available. But other than that, I can't if I want hardwood. So that's why I probably hardwood. But I'll tell you something. I bought some red cedar from a Cooch, I think it is, out of Wisconsin.
Oh, sure. Yep.
I got the catalog right here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Cooch hardwoods. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's
Oh,
probably good.
yep.
But anyways, I buy some smaller, like 1/4 inch stuff from them, but it's not
Oh,
very cheap. It's not cheap at all. But I'll buy a lot of times though, if you watch online, they have these little project packages, I think they call them.
yeah.
And they
Yep.
like they could be anywhere from 19 to $40. And they'll send you a whole box of all variety of different stuff.
Yeah. They're
And,
great.
and
Oh, I would love that for Christmas ornaments. Boy.
yeah, and that's what I do. So I get some pretty good stuff there. But if I really want something special, yeah, that probably would be the one. I like that. There's a lot of woods, as we know, the really hard stuff. It's hard to scroll. Black walnut's really hard, especially if you're trying to do like a 3D compound cut. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Cherry is
Also,
very, very hard.
yeah, some of those, yeah, poplar's one of my favorites. I love yellow birch, for three
Can't get
quarter
that.
inch stuff. But if I can get like 1/4 inch maple or
Yeah,
1/4 inch cherry,
yeah,
that grows really nice when it's thinner. Oh, and it's hard and tight grain.
right,
Oh, that's a dream to scroll.
right,
If
right.
I could do like 1/4 inch maple Christmas ornaments, that would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, maple's beautiful. I like that, and it's so smooth on the
Yeah,
inside. It cuts well well, it's one of the softer hardwoods. It's not. And then another thing,
yeah.
poplar is probably well, at least the stuff I get, it's probably the softest of the hardwoods. You know,
Hey,
and it just does a great. And plus, I love the green color.
yeah.
Our
The different
poplar.
streaks and stuff there.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
streaks. You'll get green and red and all kinds of different things in it, which is kind of cool. But
yeah.
I have an old bandsaw which doesn't really resaw very well. And so, if I want to get the 3/4 inch stuff and try to resaw, it doesn't work out very well. So therefore, it's just easier for me just to special order some stuff. Now I will say this, if I go down to the convention or the extravaganza then, down near Tiger, I went. He took me to the hardwood store down there, and if I do this, Marty, I'm going to be sending all you guys probably some. I wished I'd have done it there. They were cutting when I was down there that day. They were actually milling up. They were cutting um, red cedar, and the smell of it was
Oh,
unbelievable.
yeah.
They
That's
had
pretty.
quarter. Now listen to this. They had 1/4 inch finished red cedar, $89 for a 4x8 sheet. And they would have cut it up in quarters for me so I could fit it in my car. And I kicked myself in the butt 100 times over since last, October that I was down there. Well, a year ago, October. And I'll tell you, I go down next time. It'll probably be more expensive, but I think I'm going to put some money away and I'm going to buy, you know, probably 3 or 4 sheets of stuff. Have them cut it down into 2x4 sheets for me,
So how much
and
was it?
it was $89, $90 for a 4x8 sheet,
A solid 1/4 inch cedar.
solid
Oh, that'd
quarter
be
inch
nice.
cedar. And it was beautiful. And like I said, the odor of it was just unbelievable.
That's
And
the
so,
aromatic, isn't it? Or
oh, absolutely, absolutely. It was beautiful, though. I'm telling you, it was. I sat there and I hemmed and hawed. It's like, but the thing is, this is my first stop, and that's when I went down. Oh, excuse me, I'm wrong. I wasn't last October. It was May, because I went down. That's why I didn't buy it, because I had to go to Frankie's yet, and I wasn't sure if I'd have room for all this. Well, now if I'd have just unloaded everything, I would have had plenty of room. It doesn't take up any room. It would have laid flat right in the back of my car, and it literally would have only taken three, maybe an inch or two. You know,
right.
but like I say, I learned my lesson. Next time, I'm going to put away some money and bring
You
some
know,
home.
Yeah, it's like so one of my favorite woods is yellow birch. First of all, birch is probably my favorite wood in lumber or in logs. In
Hmm.
logs, I love it for the paper birch for fire starter. You know, that's a great tinder. But
Right.
I love carving spoons out of the logs and branches.
Yep.
I love burning it in fires. But the lumber is great for building things. It's tight green and it's got a beautiful color. It scrolls nice, but it's hard to find. But
Yeah.
Menards used to have it in this random length stuff, and it was really good deal. And
Right.
I got some, but now I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
We have three Menards within 45 minutes, and they don't have yellow birch anymore. Um, I hit Menards around the country lately. I can't
Yeah.
find it anywhere. It's like they
Yeah.
quit carrying it. Um, just like they actually Menards is the best. It's my favorite store. They got such good selection of hardwoods and softwoods, everything. But even them, they used to have cherry and black walnut too, and
Hmm.
they don't have that anymore. But
Yeah.
so some of those are hard to find. But if you go to lumber mills or order them online or go to Rockler or Woodcraft, you can find all those exotic ones.
Yeah.
Uh,
But you're going to pay
but
for it.
right, yeah, they're
Very
expensive.
expensive.
But I just went to a Rockler not too long ago. And matter of fact, I got a neat book I'm actually gonna start reading tonight. And they have, yeah, they have the big 8 footers that are a couple $100, but
Yeah.
they have these bins of all these little pieces that are like $5 or
Yeah.
less, and they're perfect for scrolling.
Yeah.
And so they got some good deals too. So
Yeah. Well, that's why I say this Akuch, which I got a box of it, and I've only used just a tiny bit of it, and I think what I'm going to do seriously, I'm going to buy a couple of more of those things. They, like I say, I think they call them project something or other, project boxes or something. And
yep,
well, what the thing is, the box, the wood itself wasn't bad, but the shipping will kill you. Here it is,
yeah,
one
because
20
it's a
pound
lot of weight.
one 20-pound box of domestic wood seconds, they called it, $25. But the shipping was 28.88. The shipping was more than the cost of the wood.
Yeah,
But so
yeah,
the whole thing was, the whole thing, and I got, I got 2 quarter-inch ash, 4 inches by 24 inches, a 1/4 inch black limba, um, 24 by 40, 24 inches. I got a 1/4 inch aromatic red cedar, 4 by 24. And then, of course, the other box of 20-pound box of just seconds, which were basically cut-offs and things like that. But I found a lot of good stuff in there, and that was $25 for that. So, like I say, it's worth it,
it
But I
is.
don't.
Yeah. And so somebody, Dippy McDip, just said same with Menards in Michigan. No more random with boards that
Right.
you'd get a good deal on. So yeah, I don't know why. I think they were really good deals. Maybe they realized, or maybe they were just limited supply. Um,
But listen
but
to this.
yeah, I wish I would have got more of that yellow birch because I really liked it.
Yeah. But
Now
the thing is,
so
if you want to pay that price, but listen to this. This is what they've got available at this Akuch, and this is all they've got them all in stock, and you can buy them: alder, ash, aspen, basswood, beech, bloodwood, babinga, butternut, canary wood, cherry, curly maple, hard maple, lacewood, mahogany, monkey pod, whatever that is, Paduke, poplar, purple heart, red cedar, red oak, sycamore, walnut, wenge, white oak, yellow heart, and zebra wood. Now
yeah.
that is amazing selection.
Well, so here's the thing. All of those are at Rockler and Woodcraft too.
Yeah.
And they're probably about the same price, and you can just walk into the store and get it.
Well, my
So,
closest rockler is 3 hours. We only have one, there's only one
you,
rockler store in the state of New York, and that's in Buffalo. I've never been to it, but
so,
I've been wanting to go.
so the thing is to find places that like that are close by if you can, because then you could save even
Yeah.
more because you don't have the shipping. We used to go. My uncle and I. We used to go to a lumber mill and get some. If you have like a lumber mill or yard, you can get better deals. Also, like I've always said, if you're doing scroll sign little stuff like me, I mean, go to cabinet shops and ask them. Furniture shops, production. A lot of those places have great great stuff, and they just throw a lot of it away. You got to
Sure.
ask. But I've been I've been woodworking for 33 years now, and I still have some pieces that I got from cabinet shops and shops I worked in 30 years ago. I still
Right.
have some of those pieces because I honestly don't have that much time to do woodworking, so I still have a lot of that. But
Yeah.
there is a lot of other sources out there for wood.
Well,
If you can, like you said, the Okeechobee or whatever it is in Wisconsin. Well,
mhm.
gosh, I could probably drive there. That's closer for me.
Right.
And
Akuch Harwood, Viola, Wisconsin.
oh, okay,
Viola.
not sure where that is, but yeah. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. If you can find places like that that are close by, because the shipping will kill you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now I did listen to this last year, or excuse me, 2 years ago, because I've got it'll be ready this year now. I had a friend of mine. In fact, ironically, it was that gal that I made that blanket chest for. She had we had a bad windstorm, and she had a big cherry tree that went down. And anyway, she had her nephew come over and cut it down and cut it up for her. And then she was thinking of me. She said, "Hey, Bob, probably would appreciate some of that." And of course, I knew Mike, her nephew. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know it was her nephew. Anyways, she calls me up and said, "Would you be interested?" I sure would. So he cut it up, and what he did is he cut, and I think it was about 8 or 10 inches in diameter. He whacked me off a couple of cherry. It's all beautiful, solid cherry, and it probably one was just over 4 feet long, and the other one was 5 feet long. And I took it, and I put it on my little trailer, and I took it halfway between my son and I. There's an Amish a farm,
Oh,
and
sure.
I stopped, and I bought some rough cut lumber from them because I built the last time I built a bench for my. And ironically, when I moved my scroll saws in, I wanted a big heavy bench, and I wanted to build it tall. You know what I mean? So it was be
Yeah.
up. Well, anyway, I stopped and I said, "Hey, would you?" His name is Hirschberger. They're from Ohio. They came from Ohio, and I said, "Mr. Hirschberger," I said, "Would you, if I brought you a couple logs, would you cut it up for me? I just want it cut up into boards." And he said, "Well, sure, I'll do it for you." He said, "But you got to understand, I'm going to do it when I got time." Anyways, and I said, "That's no problem. I'm not in any hurry because I've got to, once I cut it up anyways, I've got to cure it for a couple, 3 years, you know?"
Sure.
So I took it over there, and anyways, of course, I go up every week, twice a week to go see him. So it wasn't out of my way in the least bit. And so it was there. And anyways, he said, "Check back with me in a week or two." So I checked back in 2 weeks, and he still hadn't gotten to it. He said, "I'll tell you what, I'll get to it." So it was like just under a month. And anyways, he sawed them up for me, and I wheeled, and he told me it's ready. And I said, "Okay." So I took the trailer back, and his boys even threw him in the wagon for me, in the trailer. And I go, "Well, what do I owe you, sir?" He said, "Well, would $10 be too much?" And I said, I gave him a $20 bill and said, "Thank you very much." I said, "I
Yeah.
appreciate it very much. It was worth every penny to me." First of all,
Oh,
the wood
yeah.
was
More
free.
than that.
And I don't know, I probably got 30, 40 board foot of cherry for for $20. The wood was free, and he
Jeez.
cut it up for me. I mean, it was
Yep.
absolutely fantastic. So anyway, it worked out great for me, and it also gave me. Now the thing is with them, they don't they only deal with either some pine, or they use a lot of hemlock when they'll get
Yeah.
logs of hemlock, so they don't use hardwoods at all. See, so it's not good for scrolling or anything like that. But it's
So,
great for building.
yep. Lynn is in here. I was just going to tell Lynn, if you want to be on, click the link in the fun chat, and then you'll be in the waiting room if you want to chat for a while. Robert, I could talk to you all day, all year. We have so much, and it's so fun.
Yeah,
Um,
I
you know,
apologize to everybody. I can go on.
no, it's great. It's great. But you know what? The thing that's cool that I don't do big things, and I have built some furniture and custom things, nothing fancy, usually 2x4s or just oak or,
Right,
um, but most of the time it's small stuff. Even in scroll sign, I make Christmas ornaments, little
right.
word art. So for me, I don't know, like somebody might say, "Oh, yeah, I got some cherry boards or something." Oh, well, it's not quite enough, but I can, if I had more, I could build a dresser or
Right.
something.
Right.
I get a little chunk like this of wood and I'm excited because I do little things.
Yep.
You know, there's been sometimes when I got just a little piece of wood
Yep.
and I never got any more of it, like Purple Heart. I've got a couple little pieces, but it was just enough to make a Jesus word or
Yeah.
somebody's name. And that's what's fun about making small things, that you don't need a lot.
Right.
And so if you can get good deals or even scrap, I don't call it scrap, but leftovers places and get it for free even. That's what's neat about making small things. You don't need a lot of big boards, but
Right, right. I have a kid, a young kid. Well, he's very young. He was. I think I bought some hardwood from him twice, but he's way up in Cleveland, New York, and that's probably
okay.
a good. Well, it's probably a good close to an hour one way for me. But it's just about half again further than my son's place, so it's not that bad. So what I'll do is I'll make an appointment with him and come up. He'll tell me when I'm looking for something special, and he'll say, "Hey, I got such and such in," or whatever. So I'll go right up there, and he's got a sawmill out back, and he'll like custom cut it for me, but he'll give me some really great deals. And I'll go up there, and it's like, I've had this forever. He said, "I'll tell you what." He said, "I'll give you this for," I mean, like a huge chunk. I'm talking like an 8 foot piece of, black walnut, and it's like $80. And we're talking about $300 worth of wood probably. But
Right. Yeah.
but it's really thick. And again, I got to get it sawed down to where I can use it. Or a lot of times what I'll do is I'll mill it up myself and use them for cutting boards, things like that. And
Oh
then
yeah.
he had some really exotic stuff. He had some babinga, which I'd never used before. You talk about hard, Marty. That stuff is like orange. It's like really, really, orange colored stuff. And also what's the Paduke? That's kind of a reddish orange.
Yeah, I love Purdue. That
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
cuts nice. It's not super hard.
And then he had some wenge, which is almost black. I mean, that's African hardwood. And
What the wing? I worked at Rockler back in 1999,
oh, did you?
and I got some cuts from that wenge or whatever
Yeah,
because it's
wenge.
like the slivers are like glass.
Oh, yeah, it is. And I understand also you got to be very careful with wenge and Paduke and Babinga is that the dust is so fine
Oh
that
yeah.
you got to be wearing a mask because you can get hurt. That stuff is
Well,
not good.
yeah. A
So
lot of those woods, it's toxic. So yeah.
and there's a lot of oils in it too that are that's natural oil. So you want to make sure, and that's a good thing maybe for people that might be listening in. Some of that. Now I didn't know that until I talked to this young man, and he said,
Yep.
"Yeah, you be careful with that stuff. It's great stuff and it's beautiful, but now he said don't use this for a cutting board. He said it's not. There's some toxic stuff in it. Do not use that for a cutting board." I said, "Okay, no problem." It
Right.
was nice to know. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, a lot of those because I haven't made a lot of cutting boards, but a few years ago I was doing some, and I talked to different people, and I wanted to use Paduke. I wanted to use some of these pretty ones, and they're like, "Yeah, they're pretty, but you shouldn't use them." So I pretty much stick to black walnut, cherry, and maple for cutting boards,
Same
just
here.
because you don't know about some of those
Yeah,
toxic or
same here. Well,
exotic
2 years
woods.
ago, Christmas, all the girls in my family, my nieces, and all of the girls, they all got, I think I made like 8 or 9 of them. They all got beautiful cutting boards and they loved them. And while I was at it, the cutoffs that I used there, my nephew, my brother Dave's son, oldest son, he didn't want to ask me, but Uncle Bob, he said, of course his dad said, ask your Uncle Bob. I'm sure he'll do it. He's a big chess player and he wanted a chessboard. And
Oh
I've never
yeah,
made one before. And I said, Dan, I've never made one before, but I'll give it a whack. I'll try it. It turned out gorgeous. And he loves it because number one, it was made by me. And number two, it'll last his entire life. It'll never fall apart. It is Marty, I swear to you, it must weigh probably 23 pounds. I
yeah,
swear to God. Of course I made it big. Well, the squares were 2 inch squares. So
yeah, yep,
figure that out. It's probably a good, I would say 20 by 20, 22 by 22, something like that. So it
yep,
weighs, it's heavy. But,
yep. I made one. I'd like to do that more. I mean, someday. I don't have a planer yet, but someday I'd like to do more cutting boards and stuff like that.
right.
and I'd like to do chessboards and stuff, and again, even do the 3D cutting on the scroll saw, make the pieces. But I did uh, uh, one board, and I don't remember if I did it for checkers or chess. I think I made it as a chessboard. I gave it to somebody who already had the chess pieces.
Right.
But yeah, there's a little bit of different work into that. Yeah, there's a lot of different steps,
Yeah.
but they turn out really nice and it's really amazing. And people
Yeah.
look and they say, what, you cut each square individually? And no,
Oh no,
that's
no,
not how it works.
no. But
It's really kind of neat.
you gotta do like 3 different cut ups.
Yep, yep.
You got to or glue ups. You got to glue it up like 3 different, and then you got to slice off your slivers, and then you
Yep.
take them and you flip them. Every other one you flip, and then you glue it up again, and then that's where you get your pattern from.
You
It's
know
not
what's
that hard.
No, it just takes time. You got to have a good planer. You got to have good clamps and time and all that space and stuff. And but it's really kind of fun, and you can do some really cool stuff. I did one board, and I gave it to a friend, where I did that. I glued them up, and then I ripped them the other way, and then I
Right.
flipped them, and then I glued it up again, and then I flipped them again, and they're all zigzag. That's kind of fun. You could
Oh
do
yeah.
some really cool things.
Oh yeah.
What
There's
I
some really cool patterns you can do.
what I think is amazing when people do it on purpose and they
Yeah.
have this board and it looks like it's 3 dimensional, or it boggles my mind. I'm like, how did you do that? How did you actually plan it and make
Right.
it like, oh, those are absolutely amazing.
They are, and they're
I like to
beautiful.
watch videos of amazing things people do. Um, I just do little things, nothing real
Yeah.
fancy,
Well,
but it's
that's what
fun
I
to
did.
see.
I watched some YouTube videos on how to do it, and I watched them, several of them, and the one guy's that really stuck out. It was beautiful the way he did it. It was simple, and he was also making his very first one, but he was commissioned to do it, and
Sure.
he charged quite a bit for that board, and that's where I learned it from. And I said, "This is not that hard," and it turned out beautiful. It really did. And of course, I put a border around it too. I did. I made it beautiful. I made it out of black walnut and maple, and then
Yep.
I put a solid maple border around it. And
Okay.
it turned out beautiful. It really did. You know.
Yep. Yeah, those are fun. I like making cutting boards and stuff like that. I'd like to do that some. Yeah, I ever have more time, it would be fun to do more of those. I've done a few, and they're not that hard, and
No.
it's really neat how nice they turn out.
Yeah, and like I said, when I made those 8 or 9 of them 2 years ago, Christmas for all the ladies, it was easy for me to batch them out because I just
Yeah.
cut a whole bunch of stuff, and here I am. It's like a production line down in the basement shop. I just had them all glued up. I was doing, I don't know, 3 or 4 at a time. I had enough pipe clamps to do three, I think 3 at a time. So I did 3 batches of 3, and anyways, like I say, they really turned out great. And it's
Yeah.
amazing what you can do, and it is
Yeah.
such a satisfaction when you and it turns out really well, better than you anticipated.
Yeah. Frankie says that he heard that redwood is toxic and you can't make spoons or cutting boards.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep,
Is it? Okay.
I
Because
think so. I
that's a
believe so.
natural outdoor wood.
Well,
So
that's right. It's like a cedar, and again, you're only going to get that over in the western part where you're at, California, Oregon, and Washington. We can't get that over here. You know,
okay.
No,
Yeah.
we don't get any redwood. I tried to buy some redwood to make some Adirondack chairs. Couldn't find it anywhere. You know, so yeah,
Yeah.
we're very limited here in the east. You would think being in the Adirondacks, but like I say, Doug fir, pine, poplar, cherry. We get some maple and walnut. Other than that, it just thins out. We don't get any of the really good stuff. Like I can't even get like alder. You talk about alder. I can't get any of that stuff. Can't get any decent cedar. The only cedar I can buy at all is like the cedar, um, uh, those dog, what do you call them? The dog-eared ones at Lowe's.
The pen,
Yeah, yeah,
the
but they're
pens,
thin.
the
They're
pen,
thin.
the pen spigots,
Yeah, but they're only like, what
pen
I like to,
spigots
how to use them for though, which are good?
for the
Birdhouses.
planter boxes. Huh?
Birdhouses.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
sister-in-law wanted a birdhouse last. We do the name drawing thing, for the adults, and she wanted a birdhouse. My wife's sister, and she said so. She came through my wife, and she said, "Well, yeah, I'm sure he can make you a birdhouse." I said, "You, Barb, you sure that's what you want?" Yeah. Well, anyways, again, I started doing it. I said, "Well, what kind of birds do you want to attract?" I don't know why. I said, "Well, it matters." I'm doing a little research, and I learned a ton by doing that. The certain size of holes and things. You can't.
Yeah.
Certain birds will not go in certain. But as it
Right. And
turned out,
you don't want them too big because then the predator birds will get those little
that's
ones. And
exactly
so,
right.
yeah, there's, yeah.
As it turned out, she wanted them for cardinals. And luckily for me, believe it or not, cardinals, they like the platform type with no holes. So,
Oh, yeah.
that's how I built it. And it came out great. And we ended up putting it on the side of her garage, and she loves it. I made it out of cedar, and it turned out great. And the only thing it really did was it weathered a little, turned a little bit gray. When I started out, it was quite
It
a light
does.
gray,
Yeah.
but it weathers, and then it's perfect. And it's been up there now for, well, it'll be 2 years this coming Christmas, and it's no worse for the wear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was happy, and that's all that mattered.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if anybody else wants to come in here. I haven't seen anybody else pop up here, but I
Hmm.
mean, we could talk all day, but probably shouldn't go all night here. I know it's later there for you. Must be about going on 10 there for you,
Nine
huh?
thirty-six. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
9:36.
it's past your bedtime.
Well, lately it has been, but I've been. Last night I was up very late. I was
For
up
you?
till Yeah, I was up till almost 1 a.m. Believe it or not. I did well.
Okay.
I wasn't having the insomnia problem. I just was up waiting, talking to my wife because she doesn't come up to bed till about 11:30. Her and my
Okay.
her schedules and mine are totally different. She'll come up at 11:30, and I'm usually sleeping by 2 hours at least by then, and I'm usually taking my first bathroom break by the time she comes up. But I'm up at 4:35 every morning, 4:30 between 4:30 and 5 a.m. But that's when I
Okay.
get up, and I'm an early person. I like to get up early. She doesn't get up till 9:30, and sometimes 10. You know, but so our schedules are totally different.
Okay. It looks like Lynn wants to pop in here.
Okay, well you let him in, okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't have anything to talk about, Marty.
It's always great talking to you, my friend, and it's
Okay,
always fun
Marty,
doing a live together.
you
I
betcha.
still I still think we should do like even a once a month podcast
Yeah,
or
you had
live
mentioned
stream
that.
and just talk about everything.
We can do that.
It's
We can
fun.
do that. Yeah. Okay. Well, you let him in. I'll be on the backside and watching in. Okay, till the end.
Sounds good. You have a
See you
great
later.
night. Okay, so we're gonna let it one more guest here. Oh, he's gone. Lynn, where'd you go? He disappeared. Lynn, where did you go, Lynn? Come back. So if there's anybody else in the fun chat wants to be on the live, come on in. Lynn, come on back. While I'm waiting real quick, I'm just going to quickly go down through my 10 reasons why I enjoy woodworking while we're waiting to see if Lynn or somebody else wants to come in. For me, number one, well, they're not really in any particular order. Number one, it's a nostalgic pastime. It really is. It's something that not a lot of people do anymore. And it's just, there's just something nostalgic and wonderful about woodworking. Number two, it's a creative hobby. God created us and he created us to be creative. And it's just fun, all the different things you can do. And again, a lot of people like to just take a pattern that everybody's doing and make it. I like to make things a little different. I like to find old patterns, bring back older patterns, make up my own patterns, customize things, special gifts, combine patterns. It's just so fun to be creative. Number three, it's relaxing. Like Robert and Frankie mentioned, it's so relaxing. Oh, I think Lynn might be in there. Okay, just give me a minute here, Lynn. I'll just finish this quick. Um, it's so relaxing. I like going out in the shop and just hanging out. I might just look at woodworking magazines and books. I might drink coffee and eat pistachios or make a video, or I might build something. I might create something. I might do some scrolling or carving or whittling. I might, just look at patterns or design new patterns. This is fun. Number four, it's fun. Yeah, it's so fun. It's just I don't know. woodworking is a fun hobby. Number 5, it can be profitable. I have made money in the past. I don't like really do that too much anymore. It's really hard nowadays, but you can make money, whether it's part-time or full-time in woodworking. Number 6, you can make wonderful gifts. That's what I really like about woodworking. I make so many. Having a hard time. Well, it looks like you're there. Wait, just give me just a second, Lynn. Um, but yeah, you can make wonderful gifts and you can make customizable gifts. Customizable, is that a word? I think I just made it a word. Number 7, it's affordable to do. Anybody can get into woodworking. Get a used scroll saw, get a knife, and just carve and whittle. I mean, yeah, you can buy expensive woods and tools, but you don't have to. It's an affordable hobby you can really enjoy. Number 8, it's rewarding because you can create things, you can give wonderful gifts. It's just so wonderful. Number 9, it keeps me productive and useful. It's something that I can do, and I hope I can always do it till I die. I just enjoy making things out of wood and giving gifts. Number 10, it's therapy. It's really good for our mind and our soul. And it really is good therapy for a lot of people who struggle with a lot of things to go out and hang out in your shop and create something and make something for somebody. It really is good therapy. That's my 10 reasons for enjoying woodworking. Let's see if we can bring Lynn in here. Okay. Hey, brother.
What's going on, Marty?
Not too much. How are you?
All doing pretty good. And what I need to do to get this thing muted down, we're getting feedback.
I don't know. It sounds good here. Maybe sit a little closer and we can see you better and hear you better, but otherwise it sounds good.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback over here.
I don't know. I'm not. So are you on a computer or phone?
Yeah, I'm on the computer.
It seems like people have issues when you use a computer. It seems like it works easier and simpler on a phone for some reason.
Yeah.
But you're loud and clear and picture and everything is
I'll tell
great
you
here.
what, let me
If you wanna
go get
back
my
out,
iPad and I'll be right back.
okay, sounds good.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Make sure you turn that one off. We're looking at your banjo hanging on the wall there. Lynn, hey Lynn, come back. Turn your computer off. You log off that one, and then here I'm gonna see if I can kick him out. Let's see. Yeah. So you got to turn your computer one off though.
I will.
Okay.
Let me get this out of here.
Okay. Yeah, it might. I'm not sure how it works as far as having. Oh, there you. Okay.
Well,
Robert, if you're watching, if you want to log off, it looks like you're still in the waiting room. So if you want to get off of there and just watch it, there you go. Thanks, Robert. So who else is watching out there? I'm surprised we're not getting many comments from other people. Looks like there's 4 people watching. Oh my goodness, we're going on almost 2 hours here, but we're having fun. I hope everybody's having a good time. While we're waiting for Lynn again, I was going to show you a few books I have. Well, somebody wanted to know what my carving kit looks like. This is my carving kit. My wife Marilyn gave me this. It's just a tool roll, and I have all my carving tools in here for carving spoons and whittling. And I have videos just showing that if you want to watch. And then somebody wanted to see my current day pack. This is my current day pack. This is my 511 Rush 12. I love this pack. It's like perfect for day hikes and EDC and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to show 3 quick books here, and as we wait for Lynn, 3 of them that I keep in the truck here that are really fun to read or look at. This is wood boxes. Amazing. Oh, I'd never even try to do these, but look at this stuff. This is one of those fun to read books. They're fun to look at. And then this is kind of a neat one. This is a wood ID book. And it has not all the woods of the world, but a lot of the main ones. Another neat book. And then I just got this at Rockler the other day. The Blind Woodsman, wonderful guy, wonderful story. He has a YouTube channel too. And I knew he wrote a book, and I got it at Rockler the other day, and I'm going to start reading it tonight. So I'm excited for that. So let's see. Oh, is he there? No. Robert, do you want to make sure you're logged off? Because it looks like you're still there. And I don't see Lynn. You want to give it another try, Lynn? Anyway, yeah, who else is out there? We got 5 people watching still. We're probably going to cut it off around 2 hours unless we can get Lynn in here or anybody else who wants to talk. I got to have some dinner and kick back for the night here. This has been fun. Lynn, I'd like to have you on. I want to hear and see hear what you have to say about woodworking. You do some really cool woodworking too. It was working. So who's all watching on here? If you guys are liking this live stream, if you could give it some thumbs up. A private message here. It says, "Pay no attention to me being in the background." But Robert, you can log off, get out of the background, and then maybe it has something to do with Lynn coming in. I don't know. But actually, supposedly we can have like 6 people on here. Next time we'll have to try that all at once. But anyway, I don't know if Lynn's gonna. I think he was gonna try. Lynn, I would just try with your phone. Honestly, I think the phone works for everything. Works so well, and it's simple. But yeah, I don't know if anybody has any other thoughts or any questions or complaints. Just shoot them at me. I mean, get ready to wind down here in a little bit. It's been a fun live stream. Unless Lynn comes on, I think we'll end it right about 2 hours. So we got another 10 minutes. If anybody has any questions or thoughts. He's having a hard time getting on. Maybe try to. I would try to do it on your phone. Make sure you're logged off your computer and your iPad. Try with your phone. I would close down the fun chat on your phone, close down everything, go back to the fun chat and click on the link again. That helps sometimes to just kind of restart everything. What are we gonna have for dinner tonight? I had tacos for lunch, so I'm gonna do a real light dinner. I'm thinking a can of tuna and an avocado. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, it got dark here. Yeah, the woods here are really kind of pretty. I went for a little walk over there. I didn't go very far, but I'm gonna see in the morning. Hopefully, I'll get a reload in the morning pretty quickly. But um, I'm gonna get up around 6 or And as soon as the sun comes up, I'm going to put my pack on and I'm going to go ramble over in the woods a little bit. Maybe I'll make a video, but it's got a, yeah, it's got a Narnia, Terabithia kind of just vibe in the woods over there. The beautiful trees and there's green moss and little trails and stuff. And yeah, might be fun to just go over there and check it out. So might do that in the morning. If I was brave, I'd put my headlamp on and go for a night hike. No, not me. Well, I don't know if it's gonna work, Lynn. Um, I don't know. I don't see him here. He probably had too many devices on. Yeah, that's what I said. You log out of all your devices and then try it on the phone. If it doesn't work, Lynn, we'll try it another time. What I'd like to start doing is it's kind of fun to have a few people on. Um, but like I could ramble on with just one of you for hours. It's so fun just to hear your stories and all the different things that you have to say and stuff, and people like that too. So maybe I'll just start having somebody on every live stream, have one guest on even. But anyway, I'm surprised haven't because so I'm doing this with StreamYard. I'll probably, if I'm not going to have more, a guest or more than one guest, I'll probably just do YouTube. This is on my YouTube channel, but it's with StreamYard, so it's a little different. The comments are a little bit different, but maybe yeah. So this coming Saturday, well, hopefully I'll be home, but I'm going to try to do a live stream, and I'll probably just do it on YouTube, just a regular, and we'll see. Um, But if anybody has any last minute thoughts or questions, I'm going to read the final quote as we're starting to wind down here. Kind of a neat one. Also has to do with kind of hands, woodworking tools, but it can apply to all of life, just like the scripture did. We must use time as a tool, not as a couch. John F. Kennedy. I like that. Kind of neat. Well, yeah, wind down here. Somebody was asking too what I use to carve with. I have a few different pocket knives that I use to carve with. So I have my carving kit and I have like a Mora knife in there and then a hook knife when I do spoons with. But if I'm just whittling or carving, I have some different ones here. So I have this knife here. I got it at a military surplus store. It's kind of neat. It's the U.S. Marine knife. It's actually a really nice knife and it was really cheap. He was using it to cut avocados last night, but it's a really nice knife and it's kind of a bushcrafty knife and it's kind of bigger, but it's still a folder. So I've whittled with that one too, but that's kind of a pocket knife that I have in my pocket sometimes. I should do another pocket dump because it's changed a little bit. I have a lot of things in my pockets. And here's a Swiss Army knife Trekker. This one's pretty cool too. I like this one. Yeah, so sometimes I'll whittle with that one or carve with that one. And I got a Cabela's multi-tool. And again, I say it over and over. You don't got to spend $100 for a multi-tool. This is like $20 or something. It's really nice, super nice multi-tool, and it has a good knife on here actually, and it locks. Really good knife for carving, whittling, for cutting things. I mean, yeah. And and I have another. I don't know where I got this one. I think it was a flea farm or something. It's like antler bone, or yeah, antler bone. Just a little one. That's a good one for carving. I also use that one to cut avocados or food. Works kind of good. But this is the one I almost always have in my pocket. I don't right now. Well, actually, what I have in my pocket right now is just a regular Swiss Army knife, and super sharp, super great. It has the big blade, but I like the little one for whittling. That's a super great for whittling. And you know what? It's fun to carve things and to make things, but sometimes just whittle a stick. And it doesn't always have to be something, just whittle. This is my flex cut whittler. It has a big blade, a big one, and then it also has a little one. I have to cut myself. I have done that before. Yeah, I'll do them one at a time. And it has a little one. This one's really good for carving and whittling. And that's a thing. It doesn't always have to be something. Oh, quite a stick here. Oh, we have a stick in here. It is this little maple stick here. And it's just kind of neat to whittle. It just feels good. Just whittle. Whittle a little. That's the way I whittle. I kind of go like this. I just put it on there and use my thumb to just kind of. Yeah, I know I'm making a mess here, but that's my little flex cut whittler. But that's like always in my pocket. Well, it's not right now because I have the other one in there. But yeah, just whittle. Just make different things. It's kind of fun. Let me doing exercises out here in the dark. Rest area, kind of weird. Anyway, so it doesn't look like Lynn's gonna make it here. I don't see him in the waiting room or backstage. So I'm gonna call it a live stream, y'all. This has been fun. Lynn, we'll have you on again next time. Andy, wherever you are, it'd be great to see if we can have you on because I know we tried that once before. Yeah, and anybody else, Chris, and I have my honey on too. Yeah, Frankie, I'm pretty sure you can do a YouTube live, and I know you can on your StreamYard. So yeah, any of you guys can. It would be wonderful if one of you guys or all of you would do a live stream and have me on there. I would love to be somebody's guest. That would just be fun. Oh, my truck's getting ready to do a regen, a parked regen. I better actually start it. That's what usually you need to do. Oh, it's going to start, and it's going to start revving up and getting loud. So I'm going to call this live stream done. Doesn't look like Lynn's going to make it. Sorry, Lynn. I don't know what's the problem over there, but we'll try it again next time. Thanks, Frankie and Robert, for being on, and Melinda popped in for a little bit. Thanks everybody who watched. Thanks everybody who watched the replay of this. Hope you enjoy. It's that time of the show where I take my do-rag off and reveal the head, the fuzzy head. I don't like hair. I'm not crazy about hair. I need to shave. I need a shower too. I'm kind of overdue. But I don't really like long hair. Just enough to call it hair. Just a little bit of fuzz up there. But anyway, I'm gonna end this live stream for now. Maybe we'll have different people on and others next time. It's been fun. Again, I just like to do this once in a while to connect with everyone. Thanks so much for being with me on this. It's been fun. And for everybody who watches it, the replay, I hope you enjoy it too. I just pray you're all doing well. Yeah, get into woodworking. Enjoy it. Everybody needs a hobby. Life is hard. But we just need to lighten up and live. And like I always say, live life fully. Do what you can in the middle of all the chaos of life. And just find joy. And Jesus is our true joy, true source of joy. And that we'll never, ever lose. And but yeah, I just pray you're all doing well. And yeah, just live life fully and try to help others to do the same too. And I'm going to end this, and we'll see you next time.